daily basis, people ask me how long and how often they should be hula hooping for. Together in the next few minutes, we will go through a couple of things that will be super helpful so that you will always know for how long and what to do to achieve whatever goals you have. Welcome to Spin and Chat episode number 4. The point of this series is that you keep your hula hoop spinning while you're learning. That way, if you watch the episodes in this series, every single time you will be hula hooping for a little bit longer. That's already progressive overload. Keep your hula hoop spinning, gorgeous, and we crack on with the learning. The whole video is just about getting from A to B. How do you do that with a hula hoop? Let's first talk about fun. Fun is very important to address here. People like to tell me they like to have fun. Me too.
Me too.
But fun is different for everybody. So please take no offense. But if all you want to do is have fun, then it doesn't matter how often and how long you hula hoop or do any exercise. For you then, the simple answer is hula hoop as long as it feels fun. Use any hoop that feels more fun. And only do moves and exercises that feel fun. Easy, you're free to go. Fun? Checked! And even that is an amazing achievement, because if you didn't have fun and you reach the point when you are having fun, well done! But there are people like me who have fun if they actually look like they work out, if they do make time to work out. Just want to clarify, the rest of this video will only be interesting if you want to sculpt your physique and look like you work out and you don't have all day to hula hoop and exercise. For some, being in shape is easy and they can just have fun. But there are some people like me. For me, it's never been easy to be in shape effortlessly, just having fun. I had to figure out how to make exercise work for me, and I managed to do it. I even won first place in a fitness competition in London. Because that's my speciality, that's my expertise. I don't have all day to hula hoop. I know a lot of people who do like 3-4 classes in a gym, dance and meditation and yoga and stretches. After 4 hours of classes in the health club, they sit down with their girlfriends in the cafeteria for a muffin. And it's fun and it's social, and I'm very happy for all of these people, but we're not all the same. Those kind of people say I make hula hooping and exercise hard, but hard is the secret sauce, because if we always do what is easy, our physique doesn't change. For me, it would be not fun at all if most days I fit in exercise after work, around school runs, housework, running errands like groceries, post office. Life feels very full, so that time that I spend with exercise, I would like if it would show. Let's say that you would like as well to look a certain way from doing your workouts. Then the only thing you need to remember is progressive overload. You can research it so you become more knowledgeable. In the world of hula hooping, there's actually very little literature, hardly any content that has to do anything with progressive overload. But in the world of fitness, personal training or strength and conditioning, progressive overload is the key. That's how you can get the person from A to B. In the world of hula hooping, normally what you find is flow and self-expression and complex technical tricks. I'm not that kind of girl, so I'm not into festivals, juggling conventions, and just flowing with no goal in mind. This is why it's okay if you don't like my content, because I'm more about body composition. So, for example, how much body fat one carries and how much lean muscle they have. Or proportions, symmetry, lactate threshold, VO2 max, the different training zones, hypertrophy protocols. And if you haven't got a background in strength and conditioning, this may sound complicated, but I'm going to try my best to hoopify it so that you see, even if you don't have a background in fitness education, how to use your hula hoop so that you look like you actually do work out. As I said, I get messages all the time. Imagine that you keep receiving emails and you know everything about hula hooping. You don't know the person, you just see the email address and their entire life story, and here's Helen messaging you and another person asking how long they need to hula hoop, how often. Helen will probably need a completely different amount of hula hooping than someone else. Would you agree? Because what someone else can do would probably kill Helen on her first workout. Would you agree? Different individuals have different needs. It's not just different individuals need different amounts. The very same individual needs different as well, depending on which stage they are on their fitness journey. The workouts that I do today would have killed me when I started hula hooping, and I'm not even joking. I was extremely unfit, out of shape, I had back pain. I had zero muscular strength or endurance, and my core was a mess. The workouts I did back then when I started were gentle. They helped me to create my aerobic base. They stimulated my connective tissue. If you watched my previous video, then you know that even skin and connective tissue of all kinds need training. They need conditioning, because if we do too much too soon and too hard things instantly, then unfortunately we injure ourselves and we end up with lots of bruises. And if all you get is bruises, you're lucky. A lot of people do crazy stuff to themselves. They watch something on Instagram or YouTube or wherever, they give it a try, and they get serious injuries. So even though that bee is the same bee like I am today, but it's not exactly the same because of the condition of the body. Now I have stronger core, I have stronger everything, I have more power, I'm a lot more flexible. And back then I was in my early 20s. Now I'm a mum in my 40s and I work full-time hours at a desk. I will give you examples because that way you will see what I mean. It will be easy to understand. Material example, this is the first one. When people decide that they want to first start to hula hoop and they don't even know how to keep it up and they tried everything before, the best hula hoop for them to start with is a weighted hula hoop, because this stays up effortlessly. So this is the easiest hula hoop to start with. Even your grandmother will be able to keep this up. You don't need to be strong or have any core strength. This is step number one, the easiest regression. Initially, you may get sweaty and you may even notice that some of the inches drop, and that will get you excited. But if you carry on with this, most people plateau. I know, because that's what they tell me in hundreds of emails, and it's very frustrating to them. So you may find that you're a bit stuck. Very simple explanation for that. It's not my words, however annoying it may sound that it comes from me, but it's not me who said this. Insanity is repeating the same thing over and over again, expecting different results. So if you do the same over and over again, your body gets used to it, you reach a plateau, you will be stuck and you won't be changing much anymore. You may develop a herniated disc, but you're not going to get that six-pack. This, in strength and conditioning, we would call a regression, the easiest way to get started, and then we would need to progress. That's progressive overload. So from here we move on to a hoop that's lighter and somewhat smaller, so it spins faster and it makes you work a little bit harder. This is a progression already. Your first progression, there will be a series of those. It's not the progression, so it doesn't mean that for the rest of your life you can just stand in one place and this is going to make you look like a fitness model. But the way progressive overload works, you start off with a regression that's doable, that's easy, that doesn't kill you, that's gentle so you don't get injured. Then you move on to something very slightly more demanding, more challenging, so that you get a little bit sweatier again and you won't be stuck with your plateau, but you keep achieving things. At one point you may get confident enough to look into trying different moves, not just stand in one place and waist hula hoop, because you will be feeling a lot fitter with this hula hoop. So with progressive overload, you're going to move on again. You will progress from waist hooping, you will try hip hula hooping, shoulder hooping, chest hooping, and different moves. So you will keep getting fitter and fitter every time. You will experience that your flexibility, your strength, your power, your body awareness, your balancing skills will improve. That will boost your confidence also. And it is basically a series of incremental changes, baby steps, that you're going to keep progressing. That is progressive overload. And eventually, maybe after a couple of years of hula hooping, I wouldn't recommend that any earlier, you may be curious to see what a wooden hula hoop feels like, because that will make your workout even harder. Another example with hula hooping and progressive overload. Please ignore the material. I just wanted to put some plastic hoops here of different sizes, so you have some illustration going on. I'm not sure if it's visible enough, but these hula hoops are different sizes. Please imagine they are the same material and color. So we care about sizes right now. Can you see that there's a bigger one? A bigger hula hoop goes slower. Slower hula hoops let you move slower, so you don't have to move too fast, which means it's easier. You won't have a heart attack. In this case, then the bigger hula hoop is the regression. That makes life easier, so you don't have to move too fast. That gives you time even to figure out what to do at all. When the bigger hula hoop is easy, then you try something smaller. Not immediately a teeny weeny one, no. something somewhat smaller. You can keep training with that. By moving on to a somewhat smaller hula hoop, what you will discover is that again, you're getting sweatier and you can feel your heart racing because it's moving faster. And it will be wildly exciting because you will see your physique changing as well. Because while you could move slowly, your body couldn't quite look like a fitness model. But now, because you're pushing your body to move faster, there are actually changes that are visible. That's always so exciting. After a while, you will find that even this hoop is way too easy. You're not getting any more shredded. You're a little bit stuck and you don't like that. If you don't like it. If you love what you look like and feel like, you don't have to change anything, right? So you can just have fun and do the thing that you're doing already because you got what you wanted. But let's say you're not yet there. Then your next destination is going to be something smaller. And it will blow your mind that even 1 or 2 inches of a difference in diameter is going to feel so wildly different because it will feel so fast. When things are hard, it's not that great for the ego because grown-ups like to be very good at everything. But for your fitness, it's good if you struggle and you're challenged. So unfortunately, the bad news is, and it's very important to remember, if you want to sculpt your physique, so if you're seeking a change, easy and comfortable and little effort is not really going to help you keep making changes. It helps you to stay where you are. When we seek change, when we want to get somewhere else from A to B, we have to do something we've not done before. So if you keep doing what you've done to get to A, you will stay in A. But if you challenge yourself, it may not be great for your ego, but it will help you to get to B if you do things that are harder. Another example for progressive overload is when we increase the duration of the workout. That's exactly what we're doing in this spin and chat series. We started off with a shorter video and then very gradually the duration of the videos increase. That's what most people do when they start hula hooping. They just want to do 5 minutes, maybe then they will aim for 10 and then 15. This is what we call a linear change. So the more days you've been hula hooping, the longer the duration of your workouts. Not sure if you're familiar with the couch to 5K running or jogging plan. That is the same protocol. You start off with a very short, very doable and low intensity workout and you increase the duration. I think it's a brilliant plan to get started. Excellent for beginners. I did that too. I still remember the day over 17 years ago when my hula hoop stayed up for the first 10 minutes and then I was excited 12 minutes and 15 minutes. I started hooping 17 years ago. So if every day I increased my workout duration, if I chose to do progressive overload on this linear system, in 17 years, probably by now, I would be hula hooping 24 hours a day. You are the hero of your own journey, but let's see the numbers if we are going to use hooping as an example. Let's say you're doing your hooping and you only add 1 more minute every day to your workout. Just 1 minute. In 17 years' time, that means over 6,000 days, so that will be over 6,000 minutes because we only add 1 extra minute each day. This means we will have to work out 6,000 and whatever minutes a day, which is 103 hours. Well, nobody has that many hours in a day, right? So you can't just carry on with the linear plan. Although we never know these days, because maybe with AI we will have more than 24 hours in a day. Who knows what the future brings? But I only hula hoop 45 minutes a day. Why? Explain yourself, B. Varga. If you have a job, family, maybe personal life or hobbies, you probably don't want to be hula hooping or working out all day. Maybe you do, but you can't because you do have a job and expenses to pay for. If I could, I would probably hula hoop all day, really. But I don't have time. So what I did, I increased the intensity. What that means in plain English is I made it slightly harder. So this we already covered, really, you're very knowledgeable. Start off with the easiest hula hoop, make it a bit harder with a harder hula hoop, and then maybe eventually you will end up with a very hard hula hoop. But it's not just changing hula hoops that helps with progressive overload, but trying different moves and tricks. I don't care about tricks to show off at a juggling convention, and I don't need to flow to impress my mates at a festival because I don't go to festivals. I just want to look ribbed. And pain-free. I don't want my back hurt. I don't want to trash my knees or my back. But imagine doing one activity for 17 years. That's when people develop repetitive overuse because they just do running, so they trash their knees. People who just do swimming only for a workout, they have low bone density. and low amount of lean muscle mass. What I'm doing actually is I am making hula hooping safe, because the variety, the different moves will help people to not just torture, to not trash one body part only, but get holistically full body fit. Avoid repetitive overuse injuries. And the different moves help us avoid plateaus. I understand all the frustrated people who like to keep emailing me that they've been hula hooping for years and they are not changing their physique. It's just because they are doing exactly the same and they are reluctant to try different moves. Because your body gets used to what you're doing and it plateaus. For you, fun is to get from A to B, to get from a physique and fitness level that you start off with, to get to a physique that you're very proud of, that looks like you work out. Then the only way for that is progressive overload, not just with hula hooping, with any kind of sports or fitness. Let's sum all this up so it feels more actionable, clearer. You will know exactly what you need to do. That was the goal, right? So that you always know what to do. And now you've already seen how to achieve progressive overload with hula hoops if you change material or size or duration of a hoop workout. Let's decide that you wanted to hula hoop. You can start off with a hula hoop that makes life easy and spins around you effortlessly. You can start off with the weighted hula hoop, but please, once that feels doable and you can keep it up, before you develop a herniated disc, please move on to a hula hoop that gets you more sweaty. That will be your next step. It will be incremental changes that you're looking for every single time. If you managed to keep up your weighted hula hoop for 5 minutes, you're already doing progressive overload with incremental changes, increasing the intensity. If you try an HDPE hula hoop, this will get you sweatier, even if you carry on for the same duration. So 5 minutes with this will feel like a walk in the park. 5 minutes with this will feel like a run in the park. Your next step here is you can keep going with this linear system. So you can keep aiming to last longer. You need aerobic base. So if you last 5 minutes, but then you're all sweaty and need a nap, well done. Maybe next week try and last a bit longer. You will. About this I will want to talk in a future video because of mitochondria. These are organelles in your cell, because once you start exercising, you automatically, by default, it's the gift of your body, you will have more energy. Initially we don't, but the more exercise we do, the more energy we have. So if you don't give up and you keep trying, over time you will last a little bit longer. Never overdo it and never do anything too circus and too acrobatic or just radically longer. Baby steps, please. That's how your body is going to reward you. If you go too crazy, your body will protest and you will be in a lot of pain and you will be full of frustrations. So the linear system will work for you for a while because you can aim to keep your hoop going for a longer period of time. Then, of course, there will be an amount of time that's it. That's your maximum. You can't be hula hooping for hours and hours a day, right? So let's say you can do it for 40 minutes. Then you can fancy it up to increase the intensity. You can try different moves. You can research the internet if you don't want to support my work, but in my courses that's what you do. You can just have fun and wiggle your way through my workouts and you always know what moves to try, what moves to do and what to try next. You can just research it online and experiment with the random tutorials that you can find online for free. There's lots of them, and the problem is that a lot of the times people are frustrated because they try something that's too hard or something that's too easy. What you're always looking for is progressive overload, so always slightly a little bit harder, a little bit more complex, a little bit more intensity. And this is it, happy ending. I'm not sure if it was easy to understand. So always get a little sweaty, listen to your body. If it feels too easy and too comfortable and you're not sweaty anymore and you can't feel your heart racing, then maybe start Googling or searching around on YouTube for something that you could try. Or you can try my courses, because that way you will always know what's next. And for how long. In the next episode of Spin and Chat, we're going to be talking about problem moves, because sometimes some moves with a hula hoop feel like they take forever. They can be so frustrating and we can feel so hopeless, but the problem tricks will actually help to highlight weaknesses that maybe we should be working on. Sometimes it's lack of flexibility, lack of strength, lack of endurance, no core strength, discrepancies, inhibitions. Problem moves are almost notifications, so that they bring your attention to a problem that could help you turn a weakness into a strength. If you've been hula hooping all the way through, well done, you're an absolute champion. You've been hula hooping for 19 minutes, you absolute superstar. Are you excited? You're not just getting super fit, but you're figuring all this out and you're making hula hooping the workout that will help you learn to fall madly in love with your body, and you will achieve results beyond your current imagination. Well done. You're a champion even for watching all the way through. Well done. Did you know that I grow most of our own foods? I turned berries into an Eastern European marshmallow called Zephyr because it was my birthday this month. To let me know you watched all the way through, you can leave a birthday wish in the comments. But the only rule, you can only use emojis. Ready, steady, go!